It is the Riot podcast. You didn't get that thing where I just went, did you?
I don't see
Can
it.
we cut that out?
I don't see it in
Toss
there.
that out.
I hate when people on recordings
Make that noise.
Do the noise.
especially when they do it, because you can't cut it out every time if they do it before they every time it's like, well, Isaiah. Like,
Oh my gosh, I hate that too.
I hate it in recordings. I hate it in real life too. So
But it's you.
I just did it. Yeah, I don't normally, so that's why I want to cut it out.
Well, if it's not there, it was the many times he was doing it when he was explaining
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, exactly.
You're
Well,
going to hear it either way.
Right. So what do we have in the podcast today besides all the mouth clicks?
We kind of went over everybody's weekend, and Nikki got to go apple picking.
I did.
Got to? Makes it sound like it was a fun thing.
Yeah.
It was. I think it was fun. Maybe not as fun as other years, but I don't know about everybody else, but every time I go do something, they're explaining to me why it's not as good as it's been in the past years. And there's usually a weather reason, a labor reason, some reason why you didn't have as much fun.
Man, the pandemic was perfect for... like between the pandemic and climate change, you can explain away anything.
It's not what it used to be.
Yeah.
Like, well, it isn't quite what it used to be,
Yeah.
but you know it's getting there.
But it's
We're
not
getting
our
close.
fault. It's the climate. It's the labor shortage.
I even told the lady, because you'll hear, I went to get this one type of apple. They offer a few that you can go to like different parts of the orchards. And I went to get the one, and I left and went back to the other to fill the bag up because the one had such rotten apples.
Yeah.
And the lady was like, "Hey, what are you back for?" And I didn't want to be that person.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, they were just pretty rotten." And she's like, "Really?" She did the mouth click.
like she hasn't seen this.
Really?
She's like, "No, I'll have to tell others about that." I was
Yeah.
like, "But don't make a big deal about it." Wait till
But it's like, no, I don't really care. You know, like, I could do those ones if you want me to. Like, they aren't that bad.
I don't like confrontation. Like, I will leave, and then you go tell people that whole thing was rotten.
As if she hasn't seen those apples every single day when she works. Oh my gosh.
I was like, "I'm just gonna go now. Thank you."
We talked about that. And something else I would put in that same category of activity is going to get a Christmas tree with your family.
Yep.
Which
I don't know what's worse.
Yeah, I was going to say, none of us were a huge fan of.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask. Do you think you'd rather go apple picking or go to a tree?
Well, can't
That's
you
a
just
tough
go
one.
cut down a tree while you're there?
Yeah.
Just
What if
take
you
it
cut
back.
down an apple tree and have that for Christmas?
That'd actually be good. But remember, these places always ask you to open up your trunk because they know you're hiding apples.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you have to open up your trunk.
Like,
have
you
to
took a
go-
tree.
The whole tree in there.
No one said anything that I
Yeah.
couldn't.
I think I'd rather go apple picking because at least the weather's not horrible.
It's not
I
too
mean,
bad.
like it could be hot, but I'd rather be out in the heat for a little while than out in the freezing cold getting snow in my shoes.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I feel, and the labor of having to take the tree down, you know, it's
Oh,
a lot
it's a
more
lot-
than just picking an apple.
Yep, it's a lot
Follow
easier
back.
to carry a bushel of apples or whatever than it is to
Yeah.
to carry one of those trees and when they're all wrapped up in the net.
Well, the good thing is it's messed up with everything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
apple picking and why are trees a problem?
Yep.
We talked about that. And then we also, this was my favorite segment by far. We talked about just an unfortunate event that happened at a Pittsburgh Steelers game.
Oh, that was the best.
But they're back, baby.
That's right.
Pittsburgh's back.
Fans are excited.
Yeah.
And they're rallying behind this guy.
The game was so intense that he couldn't control himself.
I just really wish he comes forward. I haven't seen if, he said who he is. We'll let you guys listen to the podcast to find out what the Steelers fan did.
Yep.
But I really wish we could find out who his name.
Yeah.
And see a picture of his face.
See how he's
Just to put it all together for me. I just need to see his face.
Yeah.
That way I can really connect everything together. He needs to make a video where he explains what happened.
we
Like,
do
he's
want to
the
know
person.
more of the story for sure.
Well, it is odd. I've only seen the backside of him, and so it's a little weird. It's a little odd.
And the confidence of the guy who took the picture of him. That also is like a whole other thing. If I saw that in the bathroom, there's no way I would pull out my phone.
Oh, no.
And be like, look at this.
You're
like,
liable to get punched for
Yeah,
that.
exactly. Like, there's no way I'm pulling that out. If
Yeah.
anything, I'm like, in my mind, like, oh my gosh, this just happened.
But if
and I'm
you're a
running and telling
Steelers
people.
fan, then this is supportive.
It's just like
Because
another-
remember, it's bad.
It's like the second game of every year something like this
Yeah.
happens, I guess, just to get them rolling again.
I just want to know how many times this has happened and no one's taken a picture, no one's admitted it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
How often? Or has anybody, I don't even want to ask if anybody's had it happen. Never mind. I don't want to
We don't want those texts. We do not want those texts.
Please tell Nikki the story.
No, thank
please, in great detail, share it with Nikki, please.
We'll just let you enjoy the rest of the podcast. But thank you guys for listening. We did post some pictures of our weekend. So if you want to head over to RadioU Official on Instagram, make sure you're following us there and say hi and see what our weekend was like.
Oh, and don't forget to leave a very, very, very nice review of the podcast.
That would be welcome.
We'd appreciate it. You'll be glad you did.
Bye.
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 If you missed out on the next Riot moment when it originally aired, you don't know how lucky you are. You're listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
This is interesting. It's called the QSR drive-through study, where they go through and they see how long different drive-throughs take and whether the customers are getting the right orders and stuff like that. They test a bunch of stuff.
How happy you are when you're done waiting in the line.
And so what they found, I think the most interesting thing is the longest. Now this is only of 10 major fast food chains, but the longest wait time. Do you want to guess what it was?
Here in my world, I would have to say Burger King.
Burger King.
Did they make it on the list?
They were surveyed. They were not the longest, which is good for them.
That's a lie.
Yeah,
it's totally a lie.
Well, the reason the Burger King might not be the longest is they have less customers going through. So even when it takes really long, but when you only have one car in the drive-through.
Because the one time I went through last was, I promise you, they just stopped because they were overwhelmed. So they stopped taking orders. They stopped having people pay. They stopped everything, to catch up. And I think it was 20 minutes, but you're stuck in the line.
Oh, wow.
It was so long, and they wouldn't even acknowledge.
Yeah.
They were sticking their head in the sand. They're like, no, can't see you yet. Hang on.
For all of the free food they have to give away to, you know what I mean, to compensate the people that have to wait so long and whatever.
I don't think they even did that.
You don't think so?
No, they didn't care.
No.
Because remember, they just didn't say anything about it. Because it's come on now, we're ready.
So I guess that could happen at any fast food chain, but Burger King is particularly bad. But surprisingly, maybe you wouldn't guess this, but once you realize that Chick-fil-A had the longest wait time out of all the drive-thrus in 2021, or at least all the drive-thrus in this survey, that I guess you can connect the dots of, it's because there's just so many people coming through Chick-fil-A.
So it's not necessarily the wait time because of misrunning the food portion of it, but just that's a sheer volume thing.
Yeah. No matter how fast you are, you can only work on so many orders at once and serve so many cars at once. So Chick-fil-A did have the longest wait time, but and their wait time was 541 seconds.
Whoa.
So just under 10. We're talking over 9 minutes.
Dude, that's
not
you're
bad. Waiting
at
Chick-fil-A.
That is not bad. It looks like,
for the amount of cars there, it is not bad.
It looks like an airport, which is when you're going through it. And second, the one kind of for our area twists around, and then you can end up eventually back towards the main road. When it hits the main road, you're like,
that's
how
a
is
concern.
that possible?
But still, you only have to wait 9 minutes.
That's not bad.
Although I guess that's the average. So that means half the time it could be over 9 minutes. And you're still going to be stuck at Chick-fil-A. But you know what? It also, I think it all depends on what you're waiting for. Because at Chick-fil-A, it's going to be worth it. You're going to get good food. At Burger King, you don't know what you're going to get.
Well, at any place nowadays, it's just a toss-up.
And Chick-fil-A also did get the best rating for accuracy. 100% of people say that in this instance that Chick-fil-A was accurate. So at least you're getting the right food.
That was a fun meme during COVID in the beginning where on TikTok they would show Chick-fil-A employees running after you down the road. Because they forgot one thing or you wanted more sauce and they didn't give it. And they're like, I'm so sorry. And they're sweating and all out of shape and stuff. And you finally got your thing.
Yeah, for all the not even modifications, just I request such a ridiculous amount of sauce at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
And when I order in the app, and somehow they always get the exact right amount of packets and everything.
So they
always figure it out.
They say this one, but is there anybody else they say that's the the worst? I feel like Chick-fil-A is not winning the worst one.
Let's see. Which was the? See, they have all of these different metrics that you can break down. So let's see which one.
Is there anybody
which one
else
is the
they
worst
said?
for? I did. It's just a lot of data to sort through, and I just had Chick-fil-A stuff up. But I can look at the other time. You want to know who was the shortest wait? Yeah. I've got that for you.
That'd be good.
This is not true. This is a lie. Taco Bell.
Oh, no.
No, there's no way.
Oh, well, that's because they're not giving you your food.
The Taco Bell.
It is the shortest wait time of you going through.
That's not, maybe that's only, Taco Bell is only like during normal business hours. They're not counting between midnight and 6 a.m. because that's when the people get stuck in there for hours. There's just no way. And Arby's.
And they have the concrete barrier around their drive-through because they're smart. Like they know
that's
they
right. You literally get trapped. Let's see. Arby's was the one place that had people actually complaining about them being rude. Mm-hmm. So that's not good. And Burger King, this adds up. Burger King and Wendy's both had high rates of lackadaisical.
This is The Riot. Radio U.
That you went apple picking. You actually made true on your promise.
I did. I went on Saturday. And I had to talk to myself to figure it out. Are we just doing apple picking? Are we doing apple picking / fall pumpkin activities?
Oh, yeah.
But I just left it at apple picking.
Yeah, it was too hot for fall activities this weekend.
I wasn't going to. I might do that in 1 or 2 weeks.
Yeah. So how was the apple picking? Did you make a pie yet?
It was good. I have a bag full of apples. I don't know what to do with them yet.
Make a pie?
No.
Bring it to work? Share it with the gang?
The apples or the pie?
The pie. Oh, I don't want plain apples.
I got a variety called Pixie Crisp, which were really, really good.
Yeah.
It was just kind of weird. I don't know if it was from weather because it seems like every place has had weird weather over the summer. But when you go in, usually they're giant apple trees, very well established, that sort of thing. And then they tell you which rows to go to.
Yeah.
And so this year, it was the first time I felt like I would look to the side and saw all those just luscious, just amazing trees. And then they're like, and here, you go over to this baby tree. So some of them were super rotted out and gross. And then the Pixie Crisp ones were good. So I just got those.
You think you went too early?
I don't think so.
Or too late?
Maybe
I have no idea.
But I was I think these are bad. But they were such small trees.
Yeah.
And then you go, like I said, see over to the right, and they're just amazing trees. And they're like, why won't you let us pick from those?
Yeah, I know when I've gone, I went one time apple picking.
Yeah.
And it was much later than now. And I, whatever website it was for the place, I looked online, and they have different weeks where you can pick different varieties because that's when they get ripe.
They rotate them.
So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe you just went you picked a bad week.
Bad apple, right?
Yeah, you're a bad apple.
That's it.
Yeah. So
I did laugh, though. You know how, a lot of times apples have the crisp word at the end?
Oh, yeah.
So when I was driving out, they had a section of the crisps, not the Pixie ones, but the other ones.
Yeah.
And Honey Crisp, and then they had one called Ludacrisp. The guy.
Oh, somebody was so proud of coming up with that one.
That name. I took a picture. I laughed so hard at that. I was driving out and I was still laughing about it. I was like, those are called Ludacrisp.
Wow. They got to put that on a billboard that they're the home of the Ludacrisp apple.
I didn't get to try it, but again, I don't want to, when I go in, I feel like I'm supposed to really follow the rules. Only drive here, do this, do that.
So you didn't sneak over to the good part?
I didn't sneak over there, and I feel like I should have.
Yeah, it sounds like. Who would have stopped you?
So,
they probably don't even have enough workers to stop you.
Right. Oh, that's sad and true.
I want to know. So if you were in the section with all the bad apples with bananas, people always have you just make bread with them or whatever. You always have a use for bad bananas.
So bad.
No, there's no use for bad apples.
They were like, hey, go through the first 4 rows, and man, when I say they're rotted out, They have, it looks like someone drilled in them and put bugs in them.
Oh, no.
They were super, super gross, and I didn't feel like finding those. So
maybe you can make use of the bugs.
the one I got, I don't want to bring those home. I don't want to do that, but the ones I got were fine. They were super good. I was just surprised for the other varieties.
Well, I'm glad you got to do it before,
I did.
I don't know, they got even more rotten? I don't know.
The Riot with Hudson and Nikki on Radio U. Radio U.
You know what happened last night?
Sunday night?
Yeah.
What was it?
What do you mean?
What was last night?
It was the Emmys.
Oh, no, we don't get into that.
No. Yeah, even I actually flipped on the Emmys for a moment.
Yeah.
And I saw Stephen Colbert, and I watched that. I was like, that's enough. Then they started showing other people I've never heard of, so I was like, okay.
That's really enough.
And you know what? I didn't need to watch because the winners were shows I've never watched, and the funny moments, according to this story, weren't very funny.
Now,
so
you'll sometimes you'll watch the Oscars.
Oh, not sometimes.
All the time?
Every of the time.
But the Emmys aren't good enough for Hudson.
Well, because the Emmys is TV shows, and I watch approximately 4 TV shows, and actually, in this case, at least one of them did get nominated. Mayor of Easttown did get nominated and got a lot of awards, so at least it was something I've heard of. But other than that, it was a whole lot of The Crown. I mean, The Crown almost swept everything.
Sure, that's Netflix.
Yeah,
then.
That's the British one.
If you're thinking your Disney Plus Marvel shows got many nominations.
Hey, you know what? The Mandalorian and WandaVision actually did get a bunch of nominations.
But it's always
didn't win anything, though.
It's never for like the series or the actress or the actor in it. It's always for like lighting or set design, that sort of thing.
Yeah, and they let's see, but to be fair, supposedly, I keep having people try to tell me that Ted Lasso is a good show.
Mm-hmm. It won a lot.
Like, it's actually popular. It's not just a show for the Emmys only, and it did win a lot of awards. So if you're a Ted Lasso fan, you can wave your Ted Lasso flag and say, look.
No, you're waving the lasso.
This is a serious show. As much as I want there to actually be a lasso in the show, I think it's just his name.
I know, but it's better than flag.
They should make a Ted Lasso and just sell that on Amazon. That'd be good.
Well, for drama series, The Crown did win. Lead actress went to Olivia Colman for The Crown, and lead actor was Josh O'Connor for The Crown.
That's all. It was really all The Crown, with a side of Ted Lasso and a spritz of Mayor of Easttown. And other than that...
That was your Emmys right there.
That was the Emmys.
Wow, it really was. Gillian Anderson, The Crown for supporting actress.
Yeah. Is Gillian Anderson the one from the X-Files?
I believe so.
Yeah. She's disappeared for a while, and all of a sudden she's winning Emmys.
Supporting actor went to Tobias for The Crown.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know who that is. Comedy
series, Ted Lasso. Lead actress for comedy, Jean Smart for Hacks. And lead actor went to Jason Sudeikis for Ted Lasso.
For Ted Lasso, of course.
Look, see, we didn't have to do anything else.
No,
that was just the 2 shows.
Hey, that actually, you're right. That makes your Emmy watch list really short. If you watch 3 shows, you'll have all of the winning shows covered. You don't have to worry about all the nominees. They're not good enough.
Hey, guys. All done. We got them all in. We told you everything for the
mission
Emmys.
accomplished. Our playlist, we've went right through it.
So Chuck just texted in. So Ted is actually a really good show. Everybody says it. We have to get into it.
I know,
eventually.
But if everybody said a cliff was really good, would you jump off of it?
If it was on the streaming service.
If it was on Apple TV Plus, that actually reduces the chances.
I guess we'll have to see. But that was the main winners for yesterday.
I was going to say here. I guess I'm not going to get Apple TV Plus, and I'm not going to do this to Apple. I'm not going to watch Ted Lasso illegally somewhere. Come on, Apple. They work too hard on that for me to pirate it. So
you're only saying that. Get one of your relatives to get it, and then just watch it. Then
this is how bad this is how little we care about Ted Lasso and Apple TV Plus. None of my many family members have Apple TV Plus, or have even brought it up as like, hey, how about I share this with the group?
Why don't you wait till Christmas and someone, I'm sure, then you could at least talk to each other about it in person, or when you're in Connecticut this weekend.
Yeah.
Because you're going to go see your family.
This family is not.
That's not the ones.
They might be the type of family that would watch Ted Lasso if they had Apple TV Plus, which they would never get.
Okay.
Or share their login. This is a different family. They wouldn't share logins.
All right. Well, we'll figure something out for you.
You might be thinking that this won't be quite as bad the second time around. Well, you'd be greatly mistaken. You're listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Isaiah's here for Sincere Sports Talk, where I need to find out what football you watched over the weekend.
So I watched Ohio State win And that's about as far as I can say that they did. They didn't kill them. They didn't destroy Tulsa as I thought they might, but that's okay. They won.
I only got to keep up with the score, and it seemed pretty close for most of the game.
Which is crazy.
They struggled. Were they struggling?
They were struggling. And it wasn't even like it was a good Tulsa team. Like, they were already 0-2. Like, it wasn't like they were like some stellar Tulsa team out of nowhere. They'd already lost twice.
So it's like one of those things where they say you're losing to yourself. Like the team itself is struggling. No matter who they would play, they're just having a tough time.
So does that mean? I remember us talking on Friday of if they lose to Tulsa, then obviously you're done with Ohio State for the season.
Yeah,
which is such a not a fan thing to say.
It is.
Hey, listen,
fan thing to say.
Listen, when you're so passionate, I just wanted to play so well. When they just disappoint me like this, I just can't do it.
And he has other teams he loves too. He's
I'd be all in on the Browns.
Other teams that he's willing to give up on the drop of a hat.
It's not the drop of a hat, okay? If you lose 2 games, it's over. That's it. That's where I draw the line.
2 games in like 10 years.
Yeah. If you lose 2 games, it's over.
I think you're going to lose another one along the way.
What's the term? A fair weather friend?
Yep, that's exactly what Isaiah is, evidently.
No. If they did lose, I would just be upset the rest of the season. I wouldn't be able to fully enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I watched that game. I watched a bunch of the NFL games on Sunday. I watched my Browns win, which was awesome.
And also a struggle for a while. I did see some of that.
Yeah, but it was one of those games similar to the Ohio State game where I was never worried we were going to lose, but the whole time I was just kind of uneasy.
Yeah. What about... Did you watch the Sunday night football game last night?
I watched the first half of it, and then I went to bed. And it's like every single time we watch the first half of any of these night games, they've been like incredible games.
Yep, that's exactly what happened to me. I watched the first half, and it was okay.
Yeah.
And then I watched the Emmys for like 5 minutes, and then I went to bed. And I missed the good part of the football game.
I wonder if during this whole like NFL and college football season, because it seems like a lot of teams are just having a little bit more trouble than they normally would. If a lot of people will be gaining like football weight because you have a chance to eat
because it's
more.
just stressing you out.
Because you're stressed out and you're not just sitting there watching the game. You're happy to go eat because you need a break from it being so bad.
And make it an outing too. You have to go out to Buffalo Wild Wings or something.
You have to do something to make it happy.
You can't just watch the game.
Aww.
Yeah.
Well, at least, everybody seems like most won.
Isaiah, half won, half lost.
Yeah.
0 tied.
0 tied.
But it is true in the NFL especially, it seems that everything we learned from the first week, almost every team did the reverse.
Did the exact opposite.
Almost every team is 500 now.
Yeah, it's like a 1-1. Like after the Packers got destroyed by the Saints last week, the Saints got destroyed by the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah,
so everything just doesn't even matter.
It's almost as if we shouldn't have even played the first two weeks, and we'll start
afresh. Yeah, start anew this week.
Exactly right.
Remind me. I was going to post a couple of pictures from our Riot weekend. I should take a pic of your outfit for today.
Yeah, it's game day.
Yeah.
It's game day tonight.
It's
so
a lot.
Tomorrow it might be rough for me because the Packers play tonight. So
are you going to stay up the whole game?
Based off of what's happened recently in every game that I've gone to bed for, I guess I'll have to stay up. And even if the Packers are up 38-0 at halftime, apparently there's still going to be a fantastic finish somehow. So
this is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
The Dutch are shrinking.
Oh, they're getting shorter?
They're getting shorter. They are getting smaller.
Gosh, what a weird thing.
Yeah. Isn't that great? That means that...
Are the Dutch people saying that?
Their data is...
You're like, that's great. They might not be liking that.
Well, I don't care what they think. I just want the United States to be number one in everything, including the tallest country.
There it is.
And right now, the Dutch are the tallest country, although their lead is shortening because they're getting shorter. The average height of a Dutch person has gone down by about 1 centimeter since between 2001 and over the last 100 years.
Interesting.
So then the data, this is people born in 2001 compared to born in 1901.
Interesting.
The Dutch people are getting shorter, and they've always been the tallest, for a long time, they've been the tallest nation.
On
so
average,
the door is open if we want to go take it.
We can go squeak in there. Dutch men are usually on average 6 feet tall. And Dutch women 5'6", which, compared to 5'4" for those born in like the early 1900s.
It's kind of surprising that
6 feet doesn't seem very tall.
No,
though.
I was going to say, like, there must be some island nation that doesn't have a lot of people, but all of the 10
tall?
people there are really tall.
I don't know.
And they would get the title. That's surprising that at 6 foot is the tallest average. Yeah.
So that seems like that was for the guys who were born in 1980, so around that age.
They're saying that wasn't just the tallest at the time. That's like the tallest generation of people ever.
Yeah.
So I wonder what you wonder what it is that goes into that makes them. You know what I mean?
Makes everybody
what
different.
are the odds?
Well, we're all different.
Or is it just a happenstance?
It's
just a coincidence.
It is different. I remember I was in a different country once, and it was just on average, I think, shorter.
Yeah.
And man, I felt like a giant. And you're just like, here I am.
Yep. You can reach all the shelves.
I know.
Yeah.
You just really feel out of place, even though it's not like I'm not that tall.
I wonder what the shortest country is.
Why don't we look that up?
Yeah. Let's not guess about that one because that would be offensive to do. So we're not going to do that.
Nothing wrong with being tall or short.
No, but if you were guessing in general, if you said some country was shorter and then whether they were short or not, if you're just guessing, that's you stereotyping or generalizing, and we're not going to do that.
Well, I like how I Googled the shortest country in the world, and what came back was Vatican City for the smallest country in the world.
Okay, that's not helpful, Google.
Shortest height, let's see. Well, we want to talk about anything else while we're doing this?
Nope, I did not have a lot of, there was not a lot of depth.
No fill-in?
Not a lot of depth to this conversation about the Dutch.
It looks like Laos can be shorter. Indonesia, Bolivia, Philippines. So there's a few choices.
Yeah.
No one's saying what is the number one shortest, but those are some choices.
It's all fluctuates based off of the data at the time. So maybe there's a constant race to. You think they would be proud to be the shortest country, or they're like they're thinking like, oh, we got to get out of this short. We got to get some tall people in here. Bring in some of the Dutch.
Yeah, get them to move in.
Yeah,
here.
let's marry some of the Dutch so we can get out of the shortest country title.
I had no idea that the Dutch were. To me, that's not as tall.
No,
but I guess on average,
now
that's
we can always generalize the Dutch as being the tall ones.
Everything you love about the Riot, plus a handy-dandy fast-forward option. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Did you see the pair of viral haircut TikToks from over the weekend?
No, are there a few?
Well, there's one here of a woman, I believe in the UK, that pays about $300 for her haircut. And then she complains that it makes her look like a, quote, Karen.
Oh, it's that
and
sort of
so
style?
she's crying about it and everything. And yeah, so that's a possibility for me. I have long enough hair. I could have a Karen haircut.
You could. You should do yours, which is why I wish you could cut it here, because I want you to do like the layers. You know, sometimes when guys will, like, you'll shave your beards.
Yeah.
Then you'll cut in different styles on your way to shaving it all off. And so for this lady, she says, I don't look like I'm on the PTA. I don't drive a minivan. And she's basically just sobbing on the camera because she hates her haircut so much.
Jeesh. And
she says, let's practice. Let me speak to your manager. I love it.
She's well on her way. And then we have another one. This is in Massachusetts, where it's a woman that is supposedly calling 911 after this barber gave her son a haircut that she doesn't like.
Yeah.
And so she's outside the barbershop calling 911, and the barbershop, the guy chases her out and starts filming her and says, look how you're wasting my day. Look at this lady wasting my day. And like shows the picture of his barbershop and whatever. It's like, well, okay. I know that I don't want to... Calling 911 for a haircut is obviously not what 911 is meant for.
I think
but
that's
also,
not an emergency.
I don't want to be no matter what I do. I don't really want to be chastised by the bar. See, that's what I'm afraid of. That's what I'm afraid, that I'll get my haircut, I won't like it, and if I actually say something, the barber is going to give me a reason why I'm wrong.
Well, then don't bring your mom into it, all right?
That's right.
That seems to be the problem. Don't bring your mom, or don't get a haircut to look like your mom.
I need a mom that will step in for me and say, this is not good enough.
Well,
you think you can leave Hudson's hair like this? This is not gonna
right.
happen.
It's too short. So basically, that's what this TikTok was about. It was basically the barber guy.
Mm-hmm.
He was making the TikTok about the lady just losing it.
Yeah, right.
And saying that she cut her son's hair too short, and then he was filming when he went out. That's when she'd already called 911.
Right. So these are the stakes. If I get my hair cut, there could be tears involved. We might have to call 911
or a
if it all
video.
doesn't go according to plan. Yeah.
Aw, he says Karen called Karen called 911 on me because I cut her hair too short.
Yeah. So haircuts are a big deal. You tell yourself, it'll grow out in 2 weeks, but it's hard to really feel that way when you see if it goes wrong.
I must be different. Like, I don't like to make phone calls, but I would actually be too nervous to call 911.
Oh, yeah.
Unless it was a super, super emergency.
I think
when
I'd be
that's
too
what it's
nervous
there
if
for.
somebody was dying. I wouldn't want to call.
Be like, hey, you hang on.
Yeah.
But can I text them?
Exactly, yes. I think
is
you
that
can
allowed?
text 911 now,
I know
maybe.
for there's a non-emergency number you can call police at, but even I don't know that, so I'd have to Google that, and it's just too much pressure.
And I know that, see, here's another thing I'm afraid of. If somebody's dying around me and I call 911, they're going to ask me a bunch of questions, and I've listened to enough
of the calls.
I've listened to enough true crime podcasts to know that if I don't answer them the right way, I'm going to sound like the killer.
That's right.
So that's one thing. These true crime, like just the life I've lived and the stuff that I've consumed, has made me really worried about being falsely accused of murder.
Sure.
And how I would
and a haircut.
How I would prove that I wasn't the murderer. And I guess step one would be I should call 911 and just answer the questions, because not calling 911 would be even more suspicious.
Well, yeah, you want to help the person too.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
I have to think of, you're right.
You want to help the
That's a good
person?
point. I need to think about the person that's dying before I think about myself.
I'd be
It's probably a good start.
I'd be like, why do you need to know where I'm at? Can I just send you a pin?
Yeah.
I don't know how to do this.
What are you accusing me of?
The Riot promise is that they'll always have an opinion on everything they talk about. But that doesn't mean any of their opinions will make sense. This is The Riot on RadioU.
And over the weekend, I saw that we planned ahead because Saturday was National Cheeseburger Day, right?
Actually, it was national. Yeah, it was.
Was it Saturday or Sunday?
On Saturday.
Saturday.
And that's the only reason why we knew today was pepperoni pizza day.
Hey,
they kept including it.
We have the whole week of days scheduled out here. We know all of the holidays.
We know, but Saturday was National Cheeseburger Day, and we were looking forward to that.
Yeah, did you celebrate?
Well, on Saturday, I got a text from Eric. He was out that morning, and it was getting close to lunchtime, and he was like, hey, lunch. And I was like, hey, sounds good. And he was like, what do you want to do? And I remembered it was Cheeseburger Day.
Uh-huh.
And there was at that point, yeah, you could go better, but I was just fine. Let's just go to McDonald's.
Yeah.
Because I sent him the screenshot of they were doing 50-cent double cheeseburgers.
That's right. And they really wanted you to know with the app.
Yeah.
If you have the McDonald's app, God help you with how much notifications they will send you.
But you could only do it if you ordered it through the app.
Right.
So he was the one doing it. He ordered it. He got all the food. You know how they seal it up. So he didn't look at it.
Uh-oh.
And then he came home and I was like, hey, I got a sandwich. And then my little extra special thing was going to be the little McDonald's double cheeseburger.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, hey, where's the double cheeseburger at? And so he starts looking through the bags and he's like, they didn't give us the double cheeseburger. And because we were charged 50 cents for it,
Yeah.
it was like, it's not worth it.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It's not worth going back for. But I was like, man, it's the whole day. It's the whole reason why we went there.
Yeah. Oh, that's a bummer. That's I guess it's good that it was only 50 cents.
But
that you
I
paid
also
50 cents for nothing.
I also feel like it would be lame for me to go back and try
of course.
do all the work to get my 50 cents back.
Yeah. Right.
But if
I'm with you
else-
on that. I wouldn't go back either.
If anybody else on Saturday was a part of the promotion that they had and didn't get the item that they were promoting, please let me know, because I don't think I was the only one.
There's a class action lawsuit involved. You could sue them for 50 cents.
Inside that McDonald's, they're like, nah, don't put them in.
Yeah, they did not care enough. I don't know where my line is for how high it needs to be for me to go back.
Yeah.
It's definitely a lot higher than 50 cents.
For sure.
Yeah, but that's a struggle of, I feel, the world we live in where we've gone so much to drive through stuff. I know, and I've been burned so many times of you need to look in the bag to make sure they actually have. But what are you going to do? You're going to pull into a parking spot and unwrap everything, especially if it's for more than 2 people. You're going to unwrap all of the stuff and make sure it has the right toppings, make sure it's the right sandwich and whatever. It's too much work. And so what winds up happening is you go through the drive-thru and you get home and inevitably there's something missing or someone's got onions that they didn't want and it's not worth it. And it ruins the experience in a small way because if one person's meal is messed up, that means everybody's day is ruined because you all have to shuffle your food around, eat less than you intended.
I know. He let me have a bite of Eric's other hamburger. So William texted in, said, I would have went back, but I like my double cheeseburgers. I would have too, William, but it was just a mess. And it's hard because we don't usually go through the drive-thru. We'll just order on the app and then you park in the parking spot and they bring it to you.
Yeah, that's what I usually do.
When they do that, they do seal the bag. And that's when you never look anymore.
Right.
And you never look, and they know that.
Yeah.
And they know they didn't put it in there.
I don't know. I think you're
driving away.
accusing McDonald's of a lot here.
McDonald's, give me my 50 cents
vast
back.
Conspiracy for McDonald's to short Nikki her burger. I think they just weren't paying attention.
And that's the problem.
Yeah.
But see,
that's just as bad.
It's almost like McDonald's owes me the whole price, though.
Yeah.
Because I would not have gone.
Yeah. Oh, you're totally right on that one.
I wasn't going to get the cheeseburger.
You are dead on. If it hadn't sent you the notification and tempted you in with the 50-cent burgers, you would have gone somewhere else and you would have been happier doing so. Whether you got the burger or not, it's just that you thought you were getting a deal. And so I'm with you on that. It's they tempted you in with the 50-cent cheeseburgers. You shouldn't have gone.
I don't think they even have the cheeseburgers. They didn't have them to begin with.
It was all a lie.
It is, and they just
so
know,
they could send out a notification.
They know
to
no
remind
one's
you of
going to go
McDonald's.
back and ask about it.
Yeah, of course. That's genius is what it
it's
is.
a plan.
You can't even be mad. You just got to hand it to them.
The Riot with Hudson and Nikki. Oh my God, no way. On RadioU.
No way, no way.
Nikki, Isaiah, everyone, got some bad news.
What's the bad news?
If you want a Christmas tree for Christmas, we might not be able to get it.
Are you talking live Christmas
We're talking
trees?
live Christmas tree. So there's going to be a shortage.
I see plenty of trees out there.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, but
That's not to be perfect, you know?
Haven't you learned anything from Elf? Cutting down a tree in the park is a felony.
But
you can't do that.
If worse comes to worse, there's this whole thing over there.
Yeah.
It's a last resort thing. You can
Worst
get
case
something.
scenario.
They're not going to fit inside. They're too big.
We can make it work. I'm not going to let this stop me. Actually, I've never had a live Christmas tree, so I'm not
Oh,
really.
you haven't?
No, I've never done it before.
Ever?
Have you?
No.
Yeah, but my family, we used to do it a lot more, but now it's just so easy to put up the fake ones. And you don't have to go out and do the whole charade.
So neither of you care about the live Christmas
No.
tree.
Have you seen my allergies? I don't think I
That's a
could
good
even
point.
manage a tree
Man,
allergy with that.
I'm actually with you guys. I am a dyed-in-the-wool, die-hard. You have to, the artificial tree is the way to go.
Oh, yeah.
But I always got pushback on that there's nothing like the smell of a real tree. Yeah, but there's nothing like not having to clean up after a real tree. Or water it.
Or
anything.
go get
It's
it.
too
I
much-
just don't want to go get it.
Exactly. Transport
It's
it.
cold out there,
And
you're
spend
out
the
there.
money on it every single year.
Yeah.
I'm worried, though, because they say that we might not be able to get it. Then in my personality, now maybe I want to.
Yeah.
Nikki's
you know
like, well, now I kind of want it.
You know what you need
Now
to
that I
do
can't have it.
that maybe can satisfy that desire is now that we're aware of the shortage, we go buy up the Christmas tree, the real Christmas trees now.
We sell them on eBay later.
And yeah, exactly.
So
And
they're
then step
saying
3,
that
profit.
You should buy your Christmas tree early, which you're like, I don't think you can.
That's not how
Yeah,
that
that's not
works.
how that works.
Some places, though, they let you, basically you put a tag on it, so you're
Oh,
buying
you can
it ahead
reserve
of time.
it, before they cut it down.
Yeah, so you should just go out in an official way, not just go find a tree farm and put your name on it. Like, you have to actually do it however they allow you, but they say that you should buy yours ahead of time so that when the Christmas tree is ready to cut down, you have yours reserved.
And it seems that this may be regional for some areas more than others because, of course, I guess not everywhere, but many areas across the country, there are Christmas tree farms. Mm-hmm. But particularly what they're concerned about is in Oregon, where there's more of Christmas trees grown. They've had, you remember the ridiculous heat waves earlier this year in the Pacific Northwest. So that would take a toll and just not make Christmas tree growing go as it normally would.
One Christmas tree grower said he lost 90% of his trees.
Ouch.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I hope you have insurance for that.
He planted almost 14,000.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
How do they, if they say it's, mostly grown in Oregon, but, how do they ship the trees? You can't really buy. If you're going to get a Christmas tree, you're just going to, your local neighborhood one, aren't you?
No, you can go to, a Christmas tree farm that's local in your area, but most people do just go to the Christmas tree lot.
Oh, yeah.
So
I forgot about the lot.
And
those sort of trees, those trees come from different places.
And I'm sure that with Lowe's and Home Depot and Walmart, where they sell the trees as well.
Those are not local.
No, those probably are farmed out from wherever is the cheapest. So I guess in a way, though, we are showing that none of us are full on
Christmas tree people?
No,
we're not real Christmas tree people.
At the end of the day, we do not care that they don't
We're
have
just
them.
letting you know if you for some reason are wrong and like to have real Christmas trees, maybe this is the year you'll finally make the switch and realize what you've been missing out on.
I feel like it's more of a tradition thing. If your family goes to get the tree, it's more of that than actually having we really want the real tree in here. It's just the experience of doing it every year.
Think about the new traditions you could have that could replace going out and
out to the garage,
going out in the cold,
and getting the old tree and putting it up again.
That's a good tradition too.
If not, you guys can get some hot chocolate. You gather together as a family. You get ready to go out. And then you just go to Costco, or you go to the computer and order it from Amazon.
Yeah.
How about you get the artificial tree, but you can still recreate the experience? You just go wander out in the park in the cold for a few hours.
Just spend some time outside. It's like a winter picnic, You
can even carry the saw. You don't have to use it just to make it feel real. Yeah.
Man, you'd look crazy.
Actually,
your whole family's out there. Looks like you're
in the middle of the woods.
So you're saying that the only thing that keeps you from being crazy when you're chopping down a Christmas tree is that you chop down the tree.
You have
the
to
rest
do
of it is all
location
insane
matters.
behavior, and we shouldn't do it.
Well, make sure you're just aware, guys, that if that's what you wanted for this season, if you wanted a real Christmas tree, especially the more closer you are to the Pacific Northwest, that there is a lack of trees.
Feels like the holidays already. Already there's shortages. People are going to get up in arms about stuff. Everybody's going to be tense. Yep, the holidays are here.
I love the season.
Worst of the Riot podcast.
So this is hilarious. Nikki, thank you. I'm surprised you were the one that came across this and not one of the football fans.
I'm here for football, all right?
Nikki's I've been waiting all weekend for something like this.
Yep.
I saw it yesterday, I was like, oh my gosh, I loved it.
This is the kind of thing Nikki is interested in.
No, don't say that.
We have a picture
This is her kind of football news here.
We have a picture here of a guy at Heinz Field, which is the home of the Pittsburgh Steelers, at the game on Sunday, and he's not wearing any pants.
What happened to his pants?
But the reason his pants are off is because he's washing them in the sink. Because it appears he may have, pooped them. He may have had an accident.
He number two'd his pants. And
he might have had diarrhea.
I don't know. Let's not use the D word.
We don't need the description like that. He used the restroom in the improper place.
Yeah.
So this other fan was in the bathroom and saw this guy that he was washing out his pants in the sink at the game. And my favorite, because the guy was like, "Yeah, Steelers football's back, man." And it was just like, why
That's what Pittsburgh's known for. We're back, baby.
Yeah.
We're back.
And it always makes me wonder, because we see so many stories of this happening. How often are people pooping their pants?
Yeah.
In public, how is this a thing?
This is what has me wondering, because I don't know. I think you get out in the heat, you're pre-gaming, you're tailgating.
Oh yeah.
Who knows what you've eaten? You probably had a lot of greasy food. It all is a bad combination, and then you're supposed to sit and in this stadium where the lines for the bathroom may be very long, and you're going to be out there for hours and hours and hours. And so accidents are bound to happen.
I don't think you can justify this. You cannot justify. You can't be like, you're going to be out for a while.
It would never happen to me.
No
But-
justifying
Do you think
that.
this guy woke up this morning and saying, hey, I'm going to poop my pants at the Steelers game and make news about it?
Totally not.
Okay, because one doesn't just wake up
No,
thinking
he wasn't
that's
planning
happening.
this. He wasn't planning. But I wanted to know, what is the move if this happens to you at a football game? Because think about
man.
it. He probably paid so much to get into the game. So I'm trying to figure out if this happened, if I was so unfortunate that for some reason this happened to me, what I would do.
Well, are
So
you
could
in the bathroom washing your pants out and then you get back out to the game?
That's an option, right? And then I'm thinking, or you could just go home and figure it out there and just leave the game. Or you could go to the pro shop and grab a pair of way overpriced pants or shorts because they sell them in there.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So which one are you going with?
100% the pro shop. There's no way I'm putting because this dude right here,
expensive.
His pants are gonna be soaking wet when he walks back out there. That'd be the
point.
worst part. I don't think I'd be able to do it.
What about the option of you just go boxers only?
Nope.
Why not?
No.
See that?
That's technically covering up.
No,
But I think your boxers are ruined too. Like
yeah.
your
That's a good-
boxers,
I guess
your boxers only been
How
here.
could the pants get dirty?
Yeah, you might want to take the boxers off, and then you'd be better off just wearing the pants, maybe.
That's another good point.
I think the pants have been punished the most.
Yeah.
The underwear has been.
You're right. Well, what's your move, Nikki?
Well,
this
you
happens to you. What do you do?
First off, it will never.
That's what this guy said. That's what this guy said.
And I wouldn't get in the car because then your car just has that.
Well, you can take your pants off in your car.
Oh,
And
man.
you're
Are you gonna
fine.
sit on a towel? What do you have to protect the car from
You
things?
have to have like an old hoodie in the car or something you don't care about
I don't know.
that you're okay with throwing away.
I actually think it might be best to just let's know from this story that we all need to have an extra set of clothes.
Yeah,
Just
for the
keep
game.
it
One
with
bag.
Well, I'm sure they say no re-entry.
They would
So
be
you
okay
gotta-
with it if you told them the story.
No.
Yeah.
You poop your pants in the stadium and you try.
What they're gonna say? Stay in there. Stay in there.
You stay out. You get out of here and you don't come back is what they say because it's probably on the seat. Somebody's got to go wipe down the seat. And what? You're going to actually admit to the ticket agent or, like the security guard, hey, I just got to run out to my car real quick and change my pants.
No, I can't.
Because I pooped on them.
Actually, no, you didn't get this option, but you ready for the best one?
What's that?
I'd call my mom.
Call my mom and drop him off at the stadium.
She hands them over the fence?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That's
They're
the way
like,
to
what
do it.
is happening here?
Like, you have to realize your parents never judge you like that. They won't question what's
No.
going on, and they're just going to bring you a new pair of pants.
Man, I think my mom would revel it. She'd be like, this is what you get.
Well,
She'd bring you the
remember-
worst pair possible.
Yeah.
She'd be like, here's these ones. She's like, those ones don't even fit me.
You're like, listen, Mom, I need you to go back and get me a new one. You picked the wrong one.
Yeah, wrong
All
pair.
we know is from yesterday that Steelers football's back.
Yeah.
And it happens, and this guy, hopefully no one sees his face, so you don't know what happened.
Maybe he just sat in something and it wasn't even his fault.
No, he said that he pooped his
He
pants.
did.
Yeah, he
It's-
did.
You just heard the worst of the worst. We'd give you the best of the best, but we'd have to find that. As soon as we do, you'll be the first to know.